Hey, we could all use a win right about now, right? Well, in about 6 hours, someone might become a multi-millionaire. And if it doesn't happen tonight, there's always tomorrow. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is up to $447 million. And tomorrow's Powerball, a whopping $410 million. Playing the lotto in a pandemic is hit or miss, depending on who you ask. Here's Melissa Correa.
So many people are playing the Mega Millions and Powerball games. At $2 a pop, Cesar Orozco just bought 5 tickets.
Just playing, see if I get lucky and see if I win it.
Others can't afford the risk. Jennifer writes on Nextdoor, as someone who lost my job in June and just recently landed a part-time job, there's no way I can even spare a couple of dollars to play the lottery. Randy adds, I could use the money, but I don't need all of it. I would give at least half to various charities. In this pandemic, that donation would go incredibly far. If someone wins Tuesday's Mega Millions pot, they'll walk away with at least $339 million in cash. Wednesday's Powerball comes with an estimated $316 million cash value. Mike says he would donate at least half to the Wounded Warrior Project and Shriners Hospital. David writes, there's so many who need help. I want to help as many as I can. As of November, the federal government counts nearly 11 million Americans as unemployed. And while Congress approved some additional benefits, it's less than what Americans received earlier in this pandemic. At a time when the odds are already stacked against so many, Victoria Villanueva reminds us, can't win if you don't play, right? Catch the winning numbers tonight on KHOU 11 News at 10.